Welcome back to the ESL Stronghold Beta Cup for the EU, of course. We are going to go straight into game with Team Newbie Revenge versus Team Neuro. Going to go straight into game and bring you this action. Neuro over on the blue team, and the red team will be, of course, the newbies.
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure if this is the first round, because we just jumped in here to make sure that we don't have 30 minutes of break before the semifinals. But we'll see. We might get the opportunity to ask, but now we're going to concentrate on the game, and it looks like we're going to have all 5 people of all 2 teams spawn something at first. So we see a 3 door breaker, 2
that's good.
Arrow split, and 5 door breakers on the reds on the blue side. So blue really needs to take care of those guards, otherwise that is 5 wasted supply.
Yeah, indeed. And actually, the red team spawning archers beforehand is actually quite good. We've actually seen this gate already going down here over on the opposite team, already getting that gate down quite quickly as well. As we see red team struggling a little bit here, as they do have Neck in the downstate, as well as Lissaroa going into the downstate as well. Red team pushing through those guards you can see in the background there, as the doorbreaker should be taken out here quite easily. Supply is being contested as well, as we see the portal being brought out by the red team as well. Is it going to be a net back?
Frostbow. No, stuff. Is it a frostbow? Yes, it is a frostbow from Polyraptor. So he took out those quite quickly. We have 1 archer left. He's immobilized on the side. No, 2 archers actually, but yeah, he's being taken care of by the elementalists. On the other side, blue really seems to be on that supply running and that spawning. But if you don't take care of the guards and maybe a couple of enemy players, that's not really going to do that much. It's not going to help you.
Doorbreaker just gets right through there. You need to watch
Down he goes.
So we're learning some important lessons here, definitely, by just by watching these games, and how almost sometimes the NPC is almost like a side thought. Although in this game at the moment we are seeing both teams start to think about them a little bit more. Red team actually trying to go for a bit of a push here, thinking ahead of the actual doorbreaker. But we are going to see the guard is currently up still, might start to get a bit of focus as Polyraptor does come in to start to do a little bit of damage, but doorbreaker does go down in the end there as well, quite easily, as the archer just takes a shot. Oh, Poly can actually vapor form and get through to safety there. Again,
yeah,
another good reason.
Is someone gonna help him? The guards are just watching. This is cruel.
Oh. But that's actually really good to have an elementalist as a defender. He can permanently respawn in a way, because he will never die, especially if he's defending right next to that gate. That vapor form is very important. So Vampirism Rune actually might be very, very popular in Stronghold, as it is anyway for other classes, of course, if you're not an elementalist. So as we go back towards the supply area, we do see red team members trying to go for that supply, thinking about the channel more than anything. We are going to see the blue team engineer coming in, getting that nice magnet pull, which is actually going to mean that he can get the interrupts. We're going to see a portal play coming out as well, which is going to move the Mesmer out of that area and put him, well, there we go, he's able to get some supply through it, but unfortunately that time not able to get back through it in time, but can use that focus, which is obviously good for the speed and swiftness of himself. So Portal Mesmer really doing well at trying to gather this supply. Might actually just check out his build here. Very interesting build, very interesting indeed. He's going for that Massic Understanding, so that's going to be giving him some nice boons as well. You can actually share that. If he was going for the Signet, he could share those boons and actually get some extra boonage himself. So he's going to be a bit more tanky here. Let's check out his rune. Oh no, he is going for the Berserker, so he's still going for damage, but also with the pack to give him swiftness as well.
And finally, 1 doorbreaker of the blue team will attack the red gate. That took quite a few. They wasted about maybe 10, maybe a bit more supply, just shoveling doorbreaker after doorbreaker into those guards with the 1 hit. Now we see actually the kill of Convara, and he's not able. Oh, we see the vapor form coming out, and now the assistance, but the gate is down. That 1 single doorbreaker did the job, and Tyrai Ossa is right behind them.
Indeed, as we see the hero push through now, the guards not able to really do anything because they're doing some damage. We are going to see the immobilize coming out from the Guardian there, Scepter 3, which is going to stop him for a moment, so that's not too bad. If you can just chuck on the immobilize on him, you are going to slow him down, but he's not going to stop moving, and you are going to have to permanently CC him. Of course, he can be crippled, conditions can be put on him as well. As blue team start to push forward, of course, we are going to see the buff picked up for the engineer here as he starts to move in towards this gate, thinking about getting that second gate down, pushing to the Lord quite soon.
It's really interesting how much of a different difference that hero buff does. So one champion can really carry you through that gate.
It's very powerful, yeah, and if you're the losing team as well, it's a good comeback mechanic. It's a good thing they changed it, because actually before this it was just a random spawn, so it would just randomly appear, and if you were winning the game, you know, you'd get that hero spawn quite easily maybe as well. So, you know, it's good that he's going to give back that mechanic for teams to come in, but blue team at the moment being very commanding, very pushing quite far, almost getting...
Big stall breakers.
They need some more.
Big star breakers, now 5 for left. One archer still on his way there. Curiously behind the door breakers. Maybe not the best section to do that in. But on the red side now, finally we see some action. Two door breakers, one archer, and actually a stealth up immediately. That doesn't bring that much.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to just hide them from the people that might be crossing, going for supply runs and whatnot as well. That's a good play area to try and do it, just in case someone's there. Unfortunately, it's a big cooldown to use there as well in that case. But she's going to keep going with the actual supply running there. They've actually got one supply each. It would have been maybe useful, but they do want to push with that. Mist Essence popping up in the north side of the map. Maybe red team can pick up that and actually come back into this game with their own hero push, which would mean blue team members would have to disengage from that fight they've got going on towards the Lord room, which looks like it might be happening sooner rather than later, as we do have many members pushing towards that. They don't even need to worry about that Mist Essence actually at the moment, because they're actually already at the Lord. 3 team members here, even archers coming in for a little bit of extra support. Good CC there on the Lord as well from the engineer, if we're going to his perspective now, trying to get some damage off on this Lord, putting tons of condition, just loading him up as you would as if you were on any map. We're not going to see
and the red team went for the champion. They shouldn't have gone for the champion. They need full contention and full defense right now. I mean, you can maybe split up one person to just try and pick up as many things across the map as possible, but half down the Lord already, and he's not going to regen that. 4 people still alive, no real chance of anyone dying. Maybe Polyraptor is in a bit of trouble on the sides, pulls the earth armor, a bit of regen from that staff, but Convara is on him. In the meantime, that Lord is going down, and he's going down fast. Only about 10% HP are left.
Damage.
But now we have the mower, we have the damage on the blue team. They need to retreat, or they are looking at a full wipe.
Yeah, that hit from the Lord there was massive, was really big, because they were in that cleave. We are going to see a banner coming out there, but with the Lord really did a lot of that damage himself in that defense, and the extra pressure on things like the elementalists as well.
Moving in again.
Oh god, that's
in again. They
bit of a mistake.
Polyraptor down,
but he's really low. Look in the background. The stealth. He's going for it. He's actually going for the full kill.
Is he gonna get the sneak?
No!
Too much damage.
The Lord OP.
Little of health left. Now maybe they can't get him. They can't. He doesn't regen on his own, but he can be regenerated by the players themselves. Downstay damage might actually bring the Lord into downstay. That would be interesting. But the regen, there we see the staff coming in. That is going to bring a bit of health back to the Lord. So good try, but not really happening yet. In the meantime, the hero, the red hero, is knocking on that blue gate.
There we go.
That has been defended by Lordarnoud.
Well, that's a good.
name.
It's a good push from these. It's a good defense from the red team, which actually is really going to bring them back into this game. They do need to think about pushing someone to defend that though, and actually regen him, because, like you said, you can actually heal him up more. But no one is actually thinking about doing that. And if you're something like a guardian, if you actually pull out instead of having renewed focus, which I know is very important, especially for a DPS guardian, if you're a bunker, you can like half heal, 3/4 heal that
team
boss.
is trying that, the Lord, but there are only 2 people against 2 people. The Lord and his creeps. That's going to be very difficult. Down he goes, but are we going to see a stomp there in the end? Almost down, both people. We see the vapor form coming out. The stomp doesn't look like it. The rest
Stealth's going for it.
Lord is back.
Oh, he reached
half HP. So much work, all for nothing.
Oh, wow, half HP there. Unfortunately, Alex World is going to go down here, and that push is going to fail. And the Lord is actually doing a ton of work. A big push from the blue team as we see them coming in just where the crates are, trying to get a ton of damage down. But really, the focus is on Master Executor. And again, the Lord is not interrupted, really, and he's able to get a ton of damage off and actually go back to his point. And red team are able to push back out. And they've actually started to get down another one of the gates. There is not really any defense for the blue team.
So much coming in game from Red right now. We have the hero, which is actually far enough behind that they can still make it to him and push for the big team fight there. I mean, maybe they should tug in one more supply run there to have a couple of creeps supporting them from the back, because the first couple is just gonna die. And they're actually going in every push they do. They're going for a mixture of at least one archer escorting those door breakers.
Blue team getting their hero going down. So we've got a hero on each side, but red team's is further down the way. Blue team not really in it. They're getting some defenders now. We are going to see Master coming in as well to try and get that defense up. We've only got one red team really pushing. And at the moment, the Doorbreaker is uncontested as well as the archer is doing some nice damage. You're going to see Master Execute coming in for that extra defense there, but the door is down, the damage is done. All they need to do is think about going for a push themselves. So both teams have got both gates down. This is exciting stuff. Look at the point score, quite even.
It's going to be a really interesting split, because are you going for the defense or the push? We also have a hero moving on to that red lord room. He's still on half HP. The hero alone is not going to do it, but maybe Anaya La Luna, who's pushing with him. Wait, no. Wrong way around. He's trying to defend. There we go. But what's going on in the other Lord room?
The Lord is actually starting to go down now, and red team members are starting to drop, actually. They're not able to get a lot of damage on the Lord himself. Really hasn't been ticking down at all. Blue team have come in with a nice defense here. They're doing a good job. I mean, the problem here is they're not killing things like that elite mage. That guy does a ton of damage. So does this archer, and they could just they're free casting at the moment. You can think of that as a lot of damage, which isn't being taken out by these members. They need to think about taking out these NPCs. You might be able to zerg the Lord down, but if you've not got the survivability there, you really need to think about focusing those guys.
Maybe I underestimated Turaosa. I mean, now he's going down and just standing there watching, but he did quite a lot of damage to the Lord.
Look at the Lord over on the other side of the
map.
map.
Red team may be still in trouble.
You've got both hero spawns up as well. Blue team should be able to
fine.
Yeah. Blue team should be able to pick up these hero spawns as well. They're starting to move towards the bottom buff at the moment. So are they going to be able to get this channel here? They're not.
But they're going completely for bottom. They should go for interrupt on bottom and for a quick pickup on the top one, because they're closer.
Yeah, they really need to go.
No, they're just pushing. Two people running through Alex Wald and Stealth Broke. They are running into three people defending. Lordarnoud is also on his way, but they're really split. They're just way too eager for this kill.
Yeah, red team are thinking about the defense though. This is good for them at the moment. They've still got portal and whatnot. It might be good for the Mesmer to actually portal some of these red team members over from that spawn, that hero buff over here. We've got 2v2 over on that point. No one's at the north buff at all. They could get a free buff here, but there's no team members left about this map at the moment. And actually, the point score is very close. But at the moment, as it is, blue team will win. Not having the actual Lord down in terms of percentage and health isn't going to matter if the points run out. And they're actually starting to get some more kills as well, pushing themselves ahead in terms of point score. So it will be a nice defense, which is why, well, at the moment, they're really in a good position.
And now they're doing it a bit smarter. They're opting for the rather safe team fight before actually aggroing the Lord. Before that, they just went in and tried to kill the Lord as fast as possible while having the team fight going.
Yes.
Now they take care of the players first and then go for the Lord. And now they're basically in the clear. The damage is happening. We still have them on 20% HP, 10 already. Maybe the big damage is going to bring them into trouble, especially Stealth Lords. That's going to be a full wipe again. I don't really see anyone going for the Stomp. Battle Standard comes out, and that could push them over to the win. Still a bit of damage left. Nothing is really coming out. They need to play too defensive. Down he goes in a second. And are we going to see someone with a swag stomp like the Stealth?
No, I don't know.
Carrying them to the win.
Good job from those guys. Blue team picking it up in the end, having the point advantage as well as actually getting that last rush, successfully defending their Lord as well. And was that the first game or the second game?
I have no idea. Let's ask.
So that was probably one of the most exciting Stronghold matches we've seen actually today, being a lot closer as well. That was actually the first game, so we're going to see Neuro taking that game and going ahead here. Need to make sure we pick up which team they actually join as well. But yeah, fantastic job from those guys actually, and it will be nice to. I mean, like you said, that was a very good point actually, about the blue team when they re-pushed, because even when they went back into the Lord room, they couldn't take that damage from the Lord. They weren't really getting those interrupts off. They didn't have enough support, and because they weren't being able to interrupt, like you said, they went for the kills on the players, which enabled them to actually go in and try and kill the Lord in the end as well. I mean, they had a lot of the advantage. They had the point score as well. Red team almost had it as well themselves. Almost. That push on Lord, unfortunately, just wasn't enough in the end. They weren't able to commit.
Sometimes, especially like blue team picking up the hero there, even though they wiped, and had to defend afterwards their own base. Don't underestimate what the hero can actually do in terms of damage. I mean, that first attack, that